So the report that we released actually to mark the 5th anniversary of the Fishrot revelations becoming public knowledge this week. It's called "Right Now I Cannot Survive," which is a quote from one of the interviewed workers. And basically, with this report, we interviewed 90 fishermen, most of them unemployed, who all were either working with NAMSOV at the time around 2015 when NAMSOV started to lose its quotas and they were being diverted illegally to Samherji, the Icelandic company, or later on when Samherji, which had 3 active vessels, closed shop because after the corruption allegations became public and they all lost their jobs. So we've been interviewing, there are several hundred workers, so we interviewed 90 for this report, and we put the findings together in a survey just to find out what life was like, how hard it had been. And the key findings are things like 90% are unemployed and have struggled really to find employment since they lost their jobs several years ago. Most of them, similarly, 90% plus, struggling to get enough food to eat. 53% said on a day-to-day basis they were struggling to get enough food for themselves and their families. So a lot of hardship being experienced. And this report is actually the second one we've done this year. The first one was more just putting a face to this, the victims of corruption, in this case the Fishrot scandal, by interviewing 13 affected people, mainly ex-workers, but also members of their families, which we published back in March. And then this was a follow-up report using a survey method to try and bring out some further findings about the levels of hardship that people have been going through. So it's very clear, it's often, sometimes it's said that corruption is a victimless crime, you can't really identify who was harmed, but in this case, we have hundreds of workers and their families and their communities who we can identify as being harmed. And that, of course, helps us then put forward a case for some kind of restitution to come into place to assist those people, because it's so clear who was harmed and damaged by this.
Yeah. Thank you, Graham.